Donald Trump and Xi Jinping have discussed Taiwan's reunification with China. The White House confirmed they spoke at length over the phone. China's president says Taiwan's return to China is a key part of the post-war international order. He told Donald Trump that the United States should work with Beijing to fight against fascism and militarism. The US president has confirmed the pair are expected to have several face-to-face meetings. In a Truth Social post this morning, the president says, the US president that is, I just held a very good telephone call with President Xi of China. We discussed many topics, including Ukraine, Russia, fentanyl, soybeans and other farm products, etc. To that end, President Xi invited me to visit Beijing next April, which I accepted, and I reciprocated, where he'll be my guest for a state visit in the US later in the year. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was asked about this earlier too. She says the phone call lasted about an hour and was positive.
Russia-Ukraine did come up, but the focus was mainly on the trade deal that we are working on with China and those relations and how they are moving in a positive direction. And President Xi discussed continuing to stay in correspondence following their very productive meeting in South Korea.
China and Japan have been locked in a diplomatic standoff that threatens to derail trade between Asia's two largest economies. The issue is Taiwan and what Tokyo would do if the island is attacked. Our Asia correspondent Stash Butler asks how the countries got here and what happens next.
It started off well. A handshake at the APEC summit to mark a fresh beginning between China's leader and the new Prime Minister of Japan.
There are various pending issues and challenges between Japan and China, but I hope to reduce them and achieve concrete results.
But the result, a week later, was fresh division, after Sanae Takaichi suggested her country could intervene militarily over Taiwan.
If China were to deploy battleships and involve the use of force, I believe this could be deemed a situation threatening Japan's survival.
In response, a senior diplomat for China, which claims Taiwan, posted then deleted this on X, seemingly threatening to cut off the Prime Minister's dirty neck. That has fueled a backlash in Japan.
This is extremely inappropriate for a representative of a Chinese diplomatic mission.
A sentiment echoed by Taiwan.
At this critical moment, we must support Japan to effectively stabilize the situation and stop the Chinese Communist Party's bullying.
But China has doubled down. Fish imports from Japan have reportedly been suspended over apparent safety issues, harming a key voter bloc. And Beijing has also warned its citizens not to travel to Japan.
China solemnly urges Japan to retract its wrongful statements, stop creating trouble on issues related to China, and take concrete actions to correct its mistakes.
Already in Tokyo, the effect is being felt by tour operators like Yu Jinxin.
Yesterday, about 6 groups cancelled on us, which is roughly 10%. Today, 10 more cancelled on us. So in total, about 20 bookings have been cancelled. And that's about 80% of our market.
Across the sea in China, Japanese companies are bracing for boycotts. But not all consumers appear ready to act.
Of course we have to stand by our country, but for things like hobbies, that's a different thing. We'll probably keep buying what we buy.
When it comes to politics, and that's something for people higher up, it doesn't really impact individuals, I think.
Tokyo has sent a diplomat to Beijing for talks, but to no effect. Tensions near disputed islands have also grown, and neither Japan's leader nor her counterpart seem ready to back down.
From 65 to 80% is the approval rate for her government.
But her base might actually be somewhat strengthened because the Chinese government is acting just as the far right was concerned about.
As Japan enters winter, a cloud of anger has descended between neighbours on the East China Sea. It's unclear now when the smoke will start to clear.